We can start now.
Okay, so this meeting is now called to order at 5:42 p.m. Madam Secretary, can you please call roll?
Vice Chairperson David Heredia.
Present.
Commissioner Victor Barbosa. He's attempting to join us. Commissioner Carlos Jose Barrera.
Present.
Commissioner Jason Gavilanes.
Present.
Commissioner Raul Velasco.
Present.
Thank you.
And Mr. Banash, can you lead us in invocation, please?
Yes, no problem. Please bow your heads. Our Heavenly Father, we are thankful for our city and for those citizens who give their time and efforts to serve on the Traffic and Safety Commission. We ask that you be with these commissioners as they consider those matters which come before them, helping them make those decisions which will be most beneficial. In God's holy name, amen.
Okay, and Commissioner Velasco, can you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Of course. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready to begin? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, and Madam Secretary, was the agenda posted according to state law?
It was posted accordingly. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so this is the time given to the public to speak on agenda and non-agenda items. Staff, were any comments received?
No comments were received.
Okay, are there any public comments in the audience? Okay, I need a motion from a commissioner to close public participation.
I first motion.
And a second? Okay, I need a motion from a commissioner on approving the minutes of the meeting on February 2nd, 2021.
I first motion.
And a second?
Second. No, I'll go ahead and second. I was muted.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we're going to get to the first order of business. Mr. Banash, will you please give the report on the Watcher Street speed humps?
Sure. Tonight you're going to consider a request for speed humps on Watcher Street from Colmar Avenue to Eastern Avenue. And I will defer to Dennis Barnes, our city's traffic engineer, to present the report and the findings and recommendations thereof. Dennis?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Very good. Yes, I'll start off with the memorandum that was written and presented to Mr. Doug Banash, the city engineer. As noted, we had a request for speed humps on Watcher Street from Colmar Avenue to Eastern. We received a request from Maria Sanchez, a resident on Watcher Street, requesting the speed humps be installed due to speeding issues. We have attached as a part of your agenda packet today the city speed hump policy. Key points when I do the review or the evaluation of the request: it's a residential street, one lane of travel each direction, no more than 40 feet in width, no curves that make it difficult for drivers to see. Traffic volume has to be somewhere between 500 up to as high as 3,500 vehicles per day. A posted speed of 25 miles per hour or a prima facie speed 25, 85% speeds greater than 35, which indicates there's a speeding problem. It's not a transit route, and there's a citizen support. The residents want this by over 51%. Watcher Street's an east-west residential street, one lane of travel each direction. It's 38 feet wide, curb to curb. We have single-family homes on each side of the street. Parking is allowed on both sides. We do have two north-south cross streets of Ajax and El Celinda Avenue that intersect with Watcher. And both those streets create what we call a T intersection. And they are controlled by a stop sign in that northbound direction. Watcher Street intersects with Eastern as a one leg of a four-way signalized intersection controlled by traffic signal for eastbound and westbound traffic. With that in mind, because of the COVID, I used what we call trip generation analysis to evaluate the traffic volumes using what is documented as 10 trips for a single family home. Taking the number of homes and multiplying by that number, we can estimate approximately what that traffic volume would be. It meets the criteria outlined in the city's policy. With that in mind, we measured the block length, which is approximately 1,989 feet from Eastern to Colmar. With that length or block length, I did my analysis and determined that we need at least 4 speed humps, that entire length, to control traffic or bring the speeds down to approximately 25 miles per hour. We had the residents' confirmation that initially that they had the petition of 51%. So with that, you also included in your packet is my report that was submitted to Mr. Benash. And looking at that, if you're looking on page 1 of the report, it's in red. It outlines the study area. I summarize on page 2 some of the key points that I look at when I consider a speed hump installation on a particular residential street within the city. I did make an update of the traffic volumes between 500 and 3,500 per day. There's a new updated guidelines. With that, we provide the measurements as shown on page 2, which is approximately 38 feet. I've talked about the characteristics of the residential street. It meets the ADT volume. And with that information, I then proceeded to identify locations for the speed humps. On page 4 of the report, I identified the location of the first speed hump, which is approximately 269 feet east of Eastern. And figure 4 of the report shows the location of that first speed hump, just west of Ajax Street. That was the first location. And then I proceeded to, I'm looking, and I like to keep the speed humps anywhere from 250 to 400 feet apart, depending how they work out in terms of obstructions, other constraints within the street. The second hump I've identified was at figure 5 on page 4, and then it's approximately 665 feet east of Eastern. I do put an address in the report at 5831 Watcher. Using the same methodology, I proceeded to identify the location of the third hump, and that's at 1,356 feet east of Eastern. Using the same approach, I identified the fourth location or fourth speed hump at 5952, which is approximately 1,731 feet east of Eastern. And based on that spacing, it's my experience, and based on the research and information that I have, that the installation of 4 speed humps will bring the speeds down to acceptable level that I believe the residents will find reasonable and desirable after they're installed. With that, I proceeded to make recommendations to the commission. We have the initial criteria. 51% over of the residents want the speed humps installed. What we do after the commission gives approval, we'd send out a notice to all the residents asking for confirmation, letting them know we're going to go forward to install the humps. Any objections, now is the time to send in a notice. The second part of the recommendation is I'm asking that the Traffic and Safety Commission give that tentative approval for the recommended location of the 4 speed humps as shown in the figures 4 5, 6, and 7 on Watcher. That's always pending their survey results of the residents. Now that those survey results will be sent in to the Director of Public Works, in this case, the city engineer, Mr. Doug Monash, to confirm that we've met all the criteria. Assuming that everything has come in, we would go forward. In the event that whatever reason things would change and the residents are not in favor, we don't receive the 51 compliance, then we would not go forward, and it would be be noted as a receive and file report. With that, I would now open it up to the commission for questions that you may have regarding any of the items presented.
There are no questions on my end. I just want to confirm that the locations where the speed humps will be installed, parking will not be affected for the residents there, correct?
That is correct. Some of the installations I've done, 2 Street Chalet, for example, would be a good example that if you were to check one out in the field, you can park your car actually on top of the hump as it approaches the gutter line. It does not go up to the curb. It's tapered, so it just meets the flow line of the curb there, so it doesn't block drainage or anything like that. And it's permissible to park right over the hump. It doesn't reduce the validity or the effectiveness of the hump for the rest of the roadway.
And based on the diagrams, obviously there's going to be the proposition is 4 speed humps.
Yes.
I think that's great for the area, albeit that it's near the high school. And as things start to open up, students will go back to school. And there's an article there that I know, based on my time in high school, that a lot of students go to that area. So I know this is a great incentive to promote safety for the students. However, I do think that an issue with they might come upon with the residents is that it is 4 speed humps. So it might become a nuisance. Assuming that we don't get the 51% confirmation by the residents, would it be possible to reintroduce this, but only having 2 or 3 speed humps instead of the 4?
Well, I think we'd have to act. What's before you this evening is the presentation or recommendation for 4. If for whatever reason we got less than 51%, I think then the city could reach out, say Veronica, for example, could contact the resident and explain to her what happened. She would then be in a position to go back and probably talk to the residents that signed the petition, say, there's been a change, it didn't go through for the 4 humps. Are you okay with going back to the city and requesting perhaps have them look at it for only 3 or 2, but 3 humps would be better than 2 humps. And the reason I say that because the distance would be so far apart is speed up, and I think the speeds would go back up in between. But yes, that's the procedure that could be done.
Okay, thank you.
I would also like to add to that is that if we are thinking about reducing the quantity of humps, we would reduce the quantity of survey area to where the people on the west end want a hump. We're not putting one there per se, except past the first street, which is Ajax, I believe. I apologize. But we don't want to diminish where the impact would be the greatest for those things, and then we would narrow down the survey area accordingly.
Yes. Yes, I agree with that. Yes.
Great. Thank you for that clarification.
Yeah, I have a few questions. How soon would the surveys be mailed out to the residents once?
I'm sorry, I missed that.
How soon would the surveys be mailed out to the residents once this gets approved?
Well, once the commission takes action this evening, assuming they approve this, then it goes to Veronica to do the mail out. I would say, Veronica, you can probably speak up. Probably would you say it would take at least a week to get the mail out, and we give them, I think, 30 days to respond?
So typically, yes, we allow them 30 days to respond. And typically what we do is we hand deliver them. because we want to make sure that we hand deliver them with the self-addressed envelope so that they can just place them in the mail. And it's both in English and Spanish.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yes.
Thank you for that. Also, I know under the policy for installation of speed humps, it mentions that it's kind of beneficial having the support from emergency services. So I just wanted to know if, like, has there been word from the police or from the fire department if they do support these speed humps?
I can't comment if the notice was mailed to the speed or the fire department or the police department as part of the protocol. If not, if it hasn't been done, that can be certainly added as a statement to this recommendation of the commission to make sure that if for whatever reason it got overlooked, that a follow-up be mailed out to them. We always look for their concurrence, and per the policy, they're supposed to take a look at it and do a review, as you mentioned. So I think we can note that for the record, that we would send that out, and we could have Veronica put that on the list when they do the mail out to the residents, that they could do that to the police department and fire if they have any problems or objections to the proposal. The typical reduction.
Excuse me. I can add to that I do share the agenda with the police department. And in fact, I did speak to a sergeant today regarding our items that were on the agenda.
Oh,
so
great.
The police department always gets the agenda and they're aware of what we're planning.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you for that.
No comments from myself. If there aren't any more, then I'll need a motion from a commissioner.
First motion.
Okay, and I need a second.
I'll go ahead and second.
We're going to do a roll call vote, or?
Would you like me to call roll? I can do that. So Vice Chairperson David Heredia.
Yes, a motion.
Commissioner Carlos Jose Barrera.
Yes.
Commissioner Jason Gavilanes.
Yes.
Commissioner Raul Velasco.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so next order of business is reorganization of the commission. And Madam Secretary, can you lead us in that?
So my only concern here is that we don't have a full commission. One of our commissioners, I'm not sure if he wasn't able to attend, but
I believe he is in the chat, but I don't think he's able to attend. But
I see.
I'm not sure how that would work.
Yeah, so let me see. I see him here. We can carry this item over, or I'm not sure if he wants to participate from within the chat. So kind of hoping he might. If he can provide his input, then I can move forward if that's what the commission wishes. So he is here, we just can't hear him, and I'm not sure why.
Victor, if you can hear us, if you wanted to go ahead and continue through chat, let us know. If not, we can table this till the next meeting. Hi, Veronica, I think you might be muted.
Sorry. Okay, so if everyone's okay with me taking nominations, then I will go ahead and do that. So as per the Bell Gardens Municipal Code Section 2.35.050, a commission shall elect its chairperson and vice chairperson from among its members for a term of 1 year, and may create and fill such other offices within its membership as it may determine necessary and convenient. So at this point, I declare the position of traffic and safety, I declare the position of chairperson of the Traffic and Safety Commission as vacant. And I will now take nominations.
Well, I would like to nominate Commissioner Herrera to the main chair. Throughout this time, he has stood up to the challenge, and he's been taking over the meetings and is going to be pretty smoothly. So I would like to motion to nominate Commissioner Herrera to the main chair for this commission.
Great. Oh, okay, so if that is our nomination, then I can close nominations now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are we supposed to include nominations for both chair and vice chair at this moment?
No, I'll do vice chair next. I just don't know if there's more than one nomination, but if the commission wishes to move forward, and then I'm looking to see if Mr. Barbosa isn't not okay. So at this point,
Hi, can you hear me? I'm sorry.
Oh
Yes,
yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, so apparently I was muted. It just notified me right now that now I've been unmuted.
Okay, great. Well, thank you.
Sorry about that.
So at this point, then I can close the nominations for the position of chairperson. And I can now take roll as we have a nomination for Commissioner Heredia. He's been nominated by Commissioner Velasco. So I will now take roll. Commissioner Victor Barbosa.
Yes.
Commissioner Carlos Jose Barrera.
Yes.
Commissioner Jason Gavilanes.
Yes.
Commissioner David Heredia.
Yes.
And Commissioner Raul Velasco.
Yes, for myself.
Thank you. So Commissioner Heredia has been selected as the chairperson for the Traffic and Safety Commission. Congratulations, Chairperson Heredia. And next, I will declare the position of Vice Chairperson to be vacant. I will now accept nominations for the position of Vice Chairperson to the Traffic and Safety Commission.
Without opposition, I would like to nominate myself as the vice chairperson for this commission.
Great. So if there are no other nominations, then I will take.
Yes, I would like to nominate Victor Barbosa.
Okay, great. So I will now take a vote for the position of vice chair for Velasco. Commissioner Victor Barbosa,
Yes.
Commissioner Carlos Jose Barrera,
Yes.
Commissioner Jason Gavilanes,
Yes.
Commissioner David Heredia,
Yes.
Commissioner Raul Velasco,
Yes.
so with that, Commissioner Velasco has received unanimous votes. So Commissioner Velasco has been selected as Vice Chairperson for the Traffic and Safety Commission. Congratulations, Vice Chair. Thank you.
Congratulations to both.
Thank you.
Thank you everybody for the opportunity. Obviously, I'll put my best foot forward, and with David's guidance, we will make this commission the best possible commission in the city.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'm glad to have a full commission. It looks like it's made up of a lot of great characters. So I think I will be able to really get this 2021 going and on. Thank you, everybody.
It's already looking like a good year to me.
Okay, and for the next order, do we have any comments from staff?
Yes, I'm sorry.
I have no comments.
I'm sorry. So I just wanted to update the commission that the speed humps for the Darwell Avenue, that item is going before council on Monday. So we did receive the support from the community or from those that are directly affected. And so that is on the agenda for Monday. I just wanted to inform the commission of that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I have a question. So I know previously Ms. Chow, she had mentioned that we formed part of the 710 freeway that was obviously going with projects going on. Do we know any word on what's going on with the 710 with construction going on?
I do not have any information to update that. I think it's still 5 to 15 years out as the long range plan is going.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and do we have any more comments from commissioners?
No comments. Oh, matter of fact, congratulations to the full staff. And yeah, great.
I have one more comment, actually. There has been way more speeding now than before on Quinn Street. And it has been reported several times from my understanding to the police department. And nothing has actually been done. As a matter of fact, the police department actually drives by exactly the same as the vehicles pass by at full speed. There has been many times where cars are coming out of their driveways and there has to be a hard brake in order for them not to hit the vehicle that's coming at a high speed. So I would like to know if there's anything else that we could do, because obviously calling the police department is not doing anything at all. And I mean, it's for the safety of the residents that we know the speed problem, it's a huge issue throughout the city. And we actually, as a city, have not done anything about it to make it stop or at least for it to decrease. So I would like to know if there's anything else that we could do so we won't have this problem.
If I may intrude to Commissioner Barbosa. based on today's meeting and the previous meetings we've had regarding speed humps, I think it's a great opportunity for that specific neighborhood that you're referring to come together and go through the system and request speed humps in that area if that is an issue. Assuming that you're in direct contact with these residents, I would recommend bringing to attention that there is something they can do as a neighborhood to resolve this issue. That's from my end. That's the only thing I can do. Obviously, there's based on our democratic system, there's not much the city can do as an authoritarian system to just go ahead and install speed humps. But if you can, or have the ability to, I think recommending the neighborhood to come together and apply or submit a request for speed humps. That way we can address it here in future meetings.
Yes, definitely. That would be it for me.
Okay, any last comments from commissioners?
No comments.
No further comments.
Okay, no comments from myself as well. Okay, so I need a motion from a commissioner to adjourn this meeting to the next scheduled meeting of May 4th, 2021.
I'll go ahead and motion.
In a second.
I second the motion.
Okay, so this meeting is now closed at 6:14 p.m.
Thank you, everyone. And once again, I apologize for jumping into the meeting late, but hopefully this is the last time that happens.
Have a good evening, everyone.
Yes.
Have a good evening.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.